Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. I hope you're enjoying your break. Today, I'm going to do as kind of an interpretation of a song lyric, but I'm going to kind of map it towards what you need in GCSE. The song is called Little Blue. It's by Jacob Collier. And your learning outcomes from this video are that I'm going to present you an example of how you can use all the different resources to analyze a text. So that could be grammar, it could be the linguistic devices, or it could be contextual details. Okay. So I first want to look at the title, Little Blue. It doesn't give you enough grammatical details to tell you exactly what that means. Is it little blue as in a noun phrase? Little, adjective, blue, a noun, a proper noun even, little blue? Could it be a kind of abbreviated version of are you feeling a little blue? And in that case, it would be an adverb and an adjective. It doesn't tell you. And it's what one of my favorite quotes from my time at university was Roman Jakobson's description of poetry as organized violence committed on ordinary speech. Okay, so poetry, song lyrics kind of contract a lot. They don't always make complete grammatical sense. So let's look at the first verse. So little blue, be my shelter, be my cradle, be my womb, be my boat, be my river, be the stillness of the moon. If I could, I'd go with you to a place I never knew. In your eyes, so dark and open, there's a light that leads me back to you. Immediately, of course, there's the anaphora of be my, be my, be my. There's all the metaphorical language, be my shelter, be my cradle. And of course, there is the semantic field there, cradle and womb, boat and river. So semantic field of birth and a semantic field of travel and journey. And that gets reinforced as far as the journey is when it says, if I could, I'd go with you. Okay, so there's a lot going on there already. Anaphora, metaphorical language, semantic fields. In your eyes, so dark and open, there's a light that leads me back to you. Oxymoron there. How can eyes be dark and also a light? Well, obviously, it's metaphor and antithesis. So there's I don't want to get too technical, but between a verse and a chorus, there's what's called a bridge. And this is a bridge because you're not so far away. I hear you say, you'll never walk alone. Now that line for a lot of people, certainly in the English speaking world, that has resonance, that has meaning. You could call it a reference. I would say it's more of a reference than an allusion because it is a direct quote, and it's a direct quote from another song. It's a song called You'll Never Walk Alone. Originally written in 1945 and a film version in 1956 called Carousel. Just going to play you a tiny bit just to give you a feeling. The man has died and that's the lady in the orange is his wife. Don't be afraid of the dark. Remember that. So Irving Berlin was later stated that he said that You'll Never Walk Alone had the same sort of effect on him as the 23rd Psalm. When the singer Mel Torme told Rodgers that You'll Never Walk Alone had made him cry, Rodgers nodded impatiently, "You're supposed to." The frequently recorded song has become a widely accepted hymn. Ah, hold that in your mind. Hymn. A couple of decades later, a pop group called Gerry and the Pacemakers recorded it in 1963. And I'll give you another But I think these are all people from Liverpool, which is where Jerry and the Pacemakers come from. And sometime in the 1960s, 1970s, that song became the anthem for Liverpool Football Club, and eventually I think it spread around the world, in all major soccer playing countries. It's become an anthem for sport. However, there is also a darker element again to this song. In 1989, there was a tragedy involving Liverpool fans at Hillsborough Stadium, where 96 people lost their lives in a crush. And so that song has taken on even deeper meaning now. So they've attached it to that sorrow for the city. So and Jurgen Klopp kind of refers to it, and he said this is very recently. He said, with all the difficulties this club went through, and the people went through, and all the things that happened, the song is a little bit like a prayer. Are you seeing a theme here? I think I am. Are you? All right. So I'm going to go real personal now. Real personal. This is my youngest brother, Chris, and he died in 1996 with 3 of his friends. And at the funeral, we sung "You'll Never Walk Alone." And remember, there was 4 boys, so there was all the family and all the friends. So the town, the village hall was full of people, and hundreds of people outside, all singing this song. So this song, Little Blue, could, because of that line, "You'll Never Walk Alone," attach the same emotional resonance for me as it does, as you'll see, for other people. It just so happens it doesn't, because I think it's Chris is back in 1996, and there were other songs that kind of mean more to me. But again, it's just we bring to text, whatever they are, our own feelings and our own thoughts. That's the main point. So, because you're not so far away, I hear you say, "You'll never walk alone." Don't be afraid of the dark. In your heart, you're going to find a way to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. You're going to find your way home. So again, you'll find your way home, about journeying. But if it's about a child, what child would be trying to find their way back home? They would be at home, wouldn't they? So still, there is a confusion here, but don't be afraid of the dark is the sort of thing you say to a child. Or at least in my mind, maybe again, that's my own interpretation. But there were fortunes to be made from selling night lights because children are afraid of the dark. And of course, there is the semantic field that was supporting that idea. Be my womb, be my cradle, be my shelter even. So in the second verse, "Little blue, be my anchor, be my light, my compass star." Again, there's that semantic field of journeying with anchor and compass. Be my darkness, be my danger. Now what does he mean by that? That is a bit of alliteration there with darkness and danger, but that means something different. Again, is he talking about like a family child he loves, like a nephew or a niece? I know he's not married and he hasn't got children, so I'm just trying to surmise here. But then he talks about darkness and danger. That doesn't really relate to paternal feelings of, loving a child. How I love you, something so strong, something strong and something true in your arms. Again, an anaphora there. So dear and gentle, there's a light that leads me back to you. Again, that reference of light and darkness. Again, supporting that kind of anthem-y hymn theme. And he also, I hope you watched the video before you're listening to this, but you can go and watch it afterwards. He invited 50 of his biggest fans and to this, what was once a church, is now a heritage centre in Bow. And if you listen to it, they sing the chorus, and it's basically a choir. Again, supporting that idea of Little Blue having that kind of spiritual element. Where else do we associate choirs with, but with the church? And of course, those lines, just to remind you that semantic field, really, there's a light that leads me back to you. Be my light. Don't be afraid of the dark, and you'll never walk alone. So an interpretation. Well, for me, I would say it's kind of almost a secular hymn, which explores feelings about hope and depression, but never boils it down to anything so simple. And that's the key about great art. Whatever the kind of art is, whether it's film, art, music, lyrics, GCSE extracts, if it's about what it's about, it won't be great. Every great piece of artwork is open to interpretation. We bring to it all our own thoughts and feelings and hopes and get out that text what we kind of want in a way. And pure coincidence, I only came across this when I nearly finished this PowerPoint. So Jacob Collier says, some of my favourite songs in the whole wide world are about many things at once. There is not one way to take the lyrics. And I think for me, for Jacob Collier, that's always something I aspire to as a lyricist. Well, I think he achieved that. So I'll just finish with a few quotes from the comments on YouTube. One person wrote, "I'm living the hardest part of my life right now. So scary, so lonely, so much weight on my shoulders. I knew I needed some support. I opened YouTube and saw this video you uploaded 2 minutes ago. The lyrics, choir and chorus made me cry. Everything will be all right. Thank you." Another person said, "My younger sister passed away suddenly a few weeks ago. And as we put her ashes in the ocean, I kept singing to her in my heart, don't be afraid of the light. It's all right. You're going to find your way. To carry the weight of the world on your shoulders, you're going to find your way home." Another person wrote, "I just lost my mum to cancer. We've decided to play Little Blue at her funeral. Thank you for a fantastic song. I miss you, Mum, and I love you forever." And someone else said, "This song saved my life. Thanks to you, Jacob, my daughter. Gonna have a father who find a way to spend the rest of his life loving her." Wow. That's what text, okay, it's got music to it as well. It's music and text. But to me, as you know, all of this stuff is overlapping. This is what good creative work does. It means stuff to us. Have a great day. Have a great week. And I'll see you on the other side.